Hello, you guys, and welcome to this magical unicorn march. This is so exciting. I just had to get out this little unicorn lamp of mine. It's going to feature in the videos. It was a gift of friends of mine, and this little Floopsy unicorn is just so cute. I just love it so very much. So it's definitely going to be adding some rainbow magic to our videos. Awesomeness. So I just wanted to share with you guys some of the art materials that we will need or that I will use during this magical unicorn march, and so that you guys can prepare and get some goodies if you need to. Now, you don't have to go out and shop anything. I'm sure you can use whatever you have, forgive me, available. But there are some specialty things that I'm going to be playing with, and I want you to be able to play along. So, first and foremost, one of the things that I plan to sort of work with is these emergency blankets that you get at the pharmacy in the emergency care section. They're not expensive. So just check out your emergency section. These foil-like blankets is used to treat people in emergency situations. And what you have is a foil plastic kind of substance. One side is silver and the other side is golden. Now I want to use the golden side of the foil. I've done this before and it does give quite an interesting reflective, shall I say, aspect or feature or special effect to your painting in the end. And I thought, you know what, we can do with anything that's sparkly and shiny for our unicorn painting. So if you can't get hold of an emergency blanket with this gold or whatever, you can always just use ordinary tin foil, aluminium foil, maybe not tin, aluminium foil that you buy in your kitchen section of your grocery store. I will maybe suggest that you go for the light body foil because you don't want to struggle with heavy foil that might, be a problem. But I'm sure either or will work. So I'm going to put that aside. You will definitely need some kitchen towel just for, cleaning up some messes, your brushes, and so forth. So I will recommend that. So I'm going to put this aside so I can go down the list. Um, Specialty brushes that I can really recommend that you invest in is a goat mop brush. This is literally goat hair. Now are synthetic versions of this if you prefer not to use animal hair. Although I can say that, this brand that I've got here did mention that they, source this in a eco responsible manner. Either way, what a goat mop does, the goat hair is able to hold a lot of water, so it changes sort of the way that you will work with your acrylic paint. But as a dry brush, it really gives you an incredible ability to blend color, giving you a beautiful fusion or blend of color. Now, this is also a goat mop, but it's just almost like a blusher or a makeup brush. So it's a little bit flatter in the center, but it's also got this dome, and the goat hair here is white. This is just a smaller one, and I must say, of all the brushes in this department, I'm using this 1/2 inch goat mop brush the most. This one has really painted a lot of paintings. Okay, but I wanted to mention they can be quite expensive. So if you're on a budget, just look at maybe the Crazy Store. Maybe you'll find some makeup brushes that have a similar shape to this. They are synthetic and they work perfectly well to do the same job. Because in this painting series for Magical Unicorn March, I'm going to be showing you how you can create amazingly blended um, colors, because we're going to be painting the rainbow and we're going to be working with a number of colors. So this is definitely the tool that I'm going to be using in the painting, and I would like you to either get yourself invest into a mop brush or get yourself a synthetic makeup brush. Now, size wise, I really do think that especially on the size that we're going to be working, this one inch brush is too big. I work on big paintings with this brush, so I actually use the smaller brushes more. Now this is a 3/4 inch and this is a 1/2 inch goat mop. So both are from Dollar and Rawny. This one is called an oval wash. This is just a round goat mop. So that is what I will recommend that you go for. That will really make your life a lot easier in achieving the same results that I will be showcasing for you guys in this painting session. Right. The other thing that I always think is a great idea is just a mixing palette where you can dispense and mix colors on. I do like the gray ones because this is like a medium tone. So your colors show up a little bit better on a gray mixing pad, simply because you're able to gauge if it's light enough or dark enough. And this sort of plastically covered sheet is also nice because you can literally peel the paint off it afterwards. So they're not expensive. It's not essential that you have this. I mean, I literally use these mixing trays. I call them mixing trays, meat trays or vegetable trays. It's polyester. I reuse mine. So when I get my vegetables and meat out, I don't throw this away. I wash it and I use it. And they are lightweight, so your hands don't get so tired of holding onto something heavy. And you can always insert this into a plastic bag, a Ziploc bag. If there's plenty of paint still on your palette, then you put that in a Ziploc bag, mist with a bit of water, and that paint should remain good to go for a number of days. So that's just a tip I can give you. Let's take this away. Alrighty, you guys. So the size of canvas that I will be using is an A3 size. Now this is an artist panel that is covered in canvas and prepped ready to go. So I do enjoy these boards because you can frame them afterwards. So it's literally 30 by 40 inches, I think, is the size. Let me just confirm that. If you don't know what an A3 size is, oh, sorry, not inches, centimeters is 40 centimeters by 30 centimeters. And for my American friends, in inches, this would be 15 and a little bit more than a half, and like 11.5678 inches is the size of the canvas that I'm going to be painting the unicorn on. I think it's a nice size, especially for filming. Obviously, you can decide if you want to just use an A4 size, if you want to go for a big canvas, it's up to you. The size is up to you, whatever you feel comfortable in working with. But I'm going to be working on an A3 size. And one of the reasons I'm going to be working on an A3 size is our reference material. I will also print in an A3 size, and that will allow you to transfer the outline of the unicorn onto your canvas. And I'm going to show a method for that as well. Alternatively, you can just use watercolor paper. Watercolor paper is an amazing medium to work on. The paper can handle quite a lot, and acrylic paint works beautifully on it. And I might even play with a little bit of watercolor as well. I do enjoy that. So again, this is A3 size. Yes, here's the proper inches, 11.7 by 15.7 in inches. And that is what I'm going to be doing. This particular watercolor paper is 300 grams of organic cotton, so that is fun. Also, again, not absolutely required, but I do think it's a great go-to to get in any case for any of your art projects. Alrighty then. Now, there's a number of stuff that you will need. You'll need an eraser, you'll need a pencil. I also do like to work with whiteboard chalk. Let me see if I've got a piece here close by. Okay, I don't have one right now, but blackboard chalk is ordinary chalk. You can also use a chalk pencil, white chalk pencil. And it's just to do some outlines with that's not permanent, that you can change. Otherwise, what I simply like to do is just use my oil pastel because I love combining the materials. And an oil pastel you can always wipe off if your painting is dry with just a baby wipe. So that's an alternative that you can use there. Okay. So we'll definitely be needing some glue, just PVA glue, in order to glue the emergency blanket or the foil down onto the canvas. So make sure you've got some glue handy. Then you will definitely need some acrylic matte glazing medium. I prefer matte. You can use gloss, but remember the foil or the emergency blanket is already going to be quite reflective. So, but the choice is yours. If you prefer something really glossy, that you can use gloss if that's what you've got. I prefer the matte medium. It's still, the material will still be quite reflective. So even with a matte medium over it, it will still shine and give you a beautiful glimmer. Okay, now, if you are in an environment that is extremely hot, or you're working in an air-conditioned building or with a fan, or your environment is of such a sort that your paint dries extremely fast on you, I can recommend that you invest in an acrylic retarder. An acrylic retarder just gives you a little bit more mixing time and playing time, keeping your paint open and movable so that it doesn't dry so quickly on you. And for the blending techniques that we're going to be doing, this could be helpful, especially if you're new to blending techniques and you want to make sure that you have enough open time in your paint so that you can blend them beautifully. The only disadvantage is it takes a bit longer to dry. So just keep that in mind. And I will definitely recommend, if you do use this, that you use the mixing ratios instructions and don't use too much of your retarder in your paint, because then it could take forever to dry and it could change the whole feeling of your paint. Okay, but we will definitely be playing with that as well. Let me just see what else I've got here in front of me. I think those are the important ones. Okay, now, very important. I really would like to give a bit of a metallic effect to the unicorn. Its mane is shining. We want to play with light and reflectivity. We're going to use the contrast of matte and shiny in this painting, making this an exciting piece to view. So you can change your ordinary acrylic paint, which the colors I will run through with you now, into a metallic finish by adding a pearl white. Now, a pearl white can also be a metallic white, so just check whichever brand you have available where you are. You're looking for a mixing white that has a metallic finish. Now, here in South Africa, we just get this pearl white, and it really is a great way to change any color into a metallic finish. So this is going to be one of the things that I'm going to be using, or else you can just go straight for a metallic acrylic. Now basically this kind of pigment is already mixed in here, so you have a metallic finish or a shiny finish. You are welcome to use that. The next thing we're going to be playing with is pastel colors. Now, you don't have to go out and buy a whole set of pastel shades. Honestly, you can create this yourself. I'm going to be playing with this, but I'm going to be showing you how you can mix your own and create beautiful pastel shades that is beautiful in a unicorn painting. Okay, let me run through the colors that I will be using. I've got here a carmine red. A carmine red is slightly more corally. It's not cad red, but if that's the only red that you've got, absolutely no problem. Whichever red is available to you. But again, if you want to use exactly what I'm using, this is a Montmartre range and I'm using their carmine red. Let me see if they've got the pigment number on here. I will check and add it to the list of art supplies. I think here's the pigment down here. Okay, I'm not going to go through all the pigments. I'll just write it in the supply list if you want to get the exact pigment or want to confirm that your color has the same pigment. So we're going to use a carmine red. I've got here a nice bright orange. And then I've decided to go for a lemony yellow or a pale yellow or a light yellow, simply because I don't want the yellow to be too heavy. Then I've got a very bright apple green. In this brand, it is called Monastral Green. And then I've got a cobalt blue, which is quite pretty. And then I also have a violet, which is quite lovely as well. Now I'm going to be showing you guys how to mix pastel metallics by adding titanium white. Titanium white is your color you're going to be using the most, simply because we're going to be lightening up our shades quite a bit. And then, of course, you can always add a neutral gray, and you can also add just like a lamp black or whatever black you have available in order to mix darker shades for shadow sides. I personally also love to use Payne's Gray as a means to do that because it's quite translucent. So these are the important colors that we're going to be using. You can see that's like the whole rainbow, and the pearl white is going to make it a metallic finish. And I think that is sort of the most important things that I can say that you need besides your obvious can of water. I like to use a mister just to mist the paint if I'm still blending it. And yeah, a color wheel is always helpful, but I will be guiding you through some color choices that we've got. And last but not least, if you want to add a little bit of multi-sparkle glitter later in your painting, just check around in your art supply stores to see what multicolored glitter is available. But that choice is obviously all yours. You can literally see I've got unicorn paraphernalia all around me because it is one of my lifelong symbols that I identify with. And it really reminds me to be proud of who I am and to sparkle in spite of other people's opinions and ideas, and really just to remain true to myself. That to me is the biggest message of a unicorn, and I really hope that you guys are excited to paint the unicorn along with me. Now, one of the things I will be doing in our episodes is I'll be consulting the Unicorn deck by Diana Cooper. It is one of my favorite unicorn decks. So I'll be consulting this and share some unicorn magic with you guys as we paint our unicorn. Now, during the month of March, as we paint the unicorn, there's one major painting we'll be doing, but I will also be playing with, some other unicorn things. Exercises maybe on the watercolor pad just to work on eye shapes, to work on ear shapes, to work on unicorn horn shapes. Just practice the sort of shapes that we will need to put into our painting. And it's always fun to do it in a small scale, just to familiarize yourself with balance and proportion and scale before we go to the big painting. But like I said, I'm going to keep it very beginner friendly, and we're going to have lots of fun. And I'm looking forward to get into this unicorn painting with you guys. So remember to sign up, and if you have any questions, feel free to drop a comment below this video. I will answer them all personally. Also, remember our beautiful group chat on Patreon is there for you guys to get involved in our smaller Patreon community. Everyone here on Patreon will be joining in on this group focus of ours. So share your work in progress there and get involved, because it's always fun if you're part of a community that is sharing and actively supporting each other during a project like this. It feels less alienating. I know that everyone will go at this at their own pace in their own time, and that's great. And that's the reason why I do what I do here on Patreon. So I'm just looking forward to sharing with you guys and having a lot of fun. So I'll check you guys again soon with all the details. And I'm going to begin to start to record our beautiful main unicorn painting. And I'm going to be doing it in bite size, or what should we call it? Layer size episodes, so that it's easy for you to follow along and sort of achieve the same look. And thereafter, I hope that you are empowered and that you will try it on your own. And yes, so I'm looking forward to seeing you guys next. And let's get into our magical unicorn march and have a lot of fun. So get your art supplies ready, because coming up will be some unicorn magic. Thanks for watching. Stay creative, and I'll see you again real soon. Bye bye for now.